Hey guys, welcome back to Builder Brand Interviews. This is episode 12, and today we have a really special guest, and this person and I know you're probably wondering who it is, and you've probably seen in the title. It's Clinton Becker. We have, built a friendship over the past, I'd say 2 years, and I'm very excited to have him on because not only is he a rock star, he has gone from a GSM back to a salesperson and has really set an example on how people should build their own business. If this is your first time to Build Brand Interviews, we want to welcome you. And you go ahead and hit that like, subscribe down below. And if you're listening on Amazon Alexa, thank you so much for listening. So let's go ahead and get to this interview. So Clinton, go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone.
So my name's Clinton Becker, the honest car guy located in Ohio. And I love serving people, man.
Yeah. And so, there's more to Clinton than that. He's a little shy right now. Yeah. So Clinton, yes, is the honestcarguy.net. And Clinton, as we go through this, we're going to be talking about a lot of the things that you do with prospecting, following up with customers, getting referrals. And I want you to get into details because you do a lot of great things. And a lot of people will ask, like, who's a good example of someone that's really creating their own brand and building their business on social media? And I always say Clinton Becker. And the reason why is because, not a problem, man. It's all you. Like, you're out there on social media, you're creating top of mind awareness, you get involved with local businesses. And we'll talk about all that today. But, what was it that got you in the car business? That's kind of what I first started off. Like, how did you get in the car business?
Yeah. So I started initially in 2007. I was like 24-year-old knucklehead, didn't know what I was doing. And I was loading trucks at UPS at like 3 a.m. And it's, a few hours in the morning doing that. You can't make a living doing that. So I did it for the insurance. And then I found a job that a dealership, a used car dealer in my community was hiring a lot porter. I didn't know what the heck that was. And I found out that, I got to go and clean cars and run errands and pick up trash. And, it was, and I took the job. And within, I don't know, I want to say 6 months, they had an opening in sales. And, I've always been probably then I was cocky more than just confident. And so I said to the owner, I was like, I can sell cars. So he said, go home, put a dress shirt on and come back. And I did. And I sold this little old lady a car and absolutely fell in love with just the whole experience, helping people. And it was just, and I didn't know anything about cars. I didn't know anything about cars, but it was a rush. And, 2 hours into it, I sell my first car. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm a car salesman. I loved it.
Yeah.
That was it, man.
Man, I can definitely, I know everyone listening mostly is all automotive. And if you're outside of automotive, we appreciate you listening. You can gather a lot of great things from here that can be applicable into what you do. But man, that first car sale, it's something about it. It's just, you feel accomplished. You feel like, man, I've done it. Like I've won, I'm done.
That's right.
Yes, I can relate. And I know a lot of people can relate to that here. So let's get to the big stuff like prospecting. So you do a lot of things, right? So what I really want people to pay attention to, and if you're listening, listen to what Clinton says that he does, because this guy is, the example on how you can build a business, build a brand. And, the end result is to be able to pretty much make your own schedule, have more time with your family, right? Yeah. And so tell people what you do to prospect out in your community.
So the biggest thing is Facebook. Like Facebook is so important. Facebook is so big. And my 16-year-old has said this to me many times. I'll say, hey, I tagged you on Facebook. She goes, I don't get on Facebook. That's for old people. And if you think about it, all the people my age, a little bit younger than me, older than me, the people that are buying cars, those are the people that are on Facebook. And when I went from management back to sales, I already had a blueprint that I was working on as a manager to brand myself. The honest car guy, that's something important to me because of my story. So in 2013, I got saved. And when I gave my life to God, it was really, for me, changing what my life was, which I spent 80% of my life deceiving people, lying to people. So branding myself as the honest car guy was important, for two reasons. That's who I was, truly who I was. And I think when you brand yourself, it needs to be authentic and real. When I was a manager, I tell people all the time, you hear the thing, fake it till you make it. That never happens, right? Nobody ever makes it. So if,
Right.
Your brand has to be authentic to you. It has to be real. And I see a lot of people, they brand themselves and it can be a funny type branding, but my belief system and what I found is truly successful is, so what is real to you, right? And I've had a lot of people come to me and say, oh my gosh, you are exactly what you are on Facebook. And that's the reality. So again, the honest car guy branding is something that is very important to me. But as far as Facebook being a gold mine, it's about consistency. And that's the thing is I started 6 months before leaving management, going into sales, branding myself, but utilizing Facebook to create top of mind awareness. And one of my goals, I said, when I go back to sales, I want to dominate my market. And my market is my town, my county, and even outside of my county, right? And Facebook allows me to do that. I mean, and the reality is, if you have your personal page, it's free. I don't pay for any of that on Facebook. I just literally put myself out there and get that top of mind awareness by just branding myself as the honest car guy. But then I do a lot of different things. If you go to my Facebook page, it's not an inventory feed. And I have a lot of salespeople that reach out to me and I'll go look at their Facebook page. And the first thing I tell them is, dude, all I see is a million cars. Like,
yeah, there's just like posts like link,
yeah,
link.
And I post car pictures, right? But I put myself in them. If you look, I may post, the other day I did a post about my certified cars, but I did a video leading into it because I want them to see my face, right? I mean, if you post 50 million cars and John Doe shows up and just goes to look at that car, he may not ever mention me, right? So the whole goal is to use Facebook to put myself out there in front of everybody. And that's a lot of my branding is through Facebook. It's Clinton, right? Clinton Becker, the honest car guy. That's my franchise.
Yeah. And I want to stop you there because you've given a lot of good points. I know we're going to get some more, but the first thing that I want people to really look at and think about is, you tell your story of your past, right? When you said you weren't as, I guess maybe as honest as the person you are today, and you put that out there for people, right?
Oh yeah.
People hide from their past because like, oh, they won't accept me or they won't like me.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, hey, if I want to be true to myself and if I want to truly be honest, this is who I was. Now this is who I am. So you're being vulnerable in a sense because people could judge you. But the thing is you're just upfront with it. So that's very powerful. Now I'm not saying everyone, needs to have this crazy story of, back in the day, like, to rob banks, like nothing crazy, but just be
just be real.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing is like, you don't have to, like you just said about, you don't have to have a crazy story. Mine just happens to be like really just nuts. It's crazy. But yours doesn't have to be that. It's just be real to who you are, right? And that's something that in my community, I'd say everybody knows Clinton Becker's story. They know that I've got this really bad past, and I share it with people. And I've even had people say to me, why do you tell people that stuff? What if they don't buy a car? Well, because that's not the point. The point is this is who I am, right? And that's part of my branding is being the honest car guy. I'm transparent. I share it. But I've also found that when you're really that real and raw about everything, people will like you, and then they will trust you, and then they will buy a car from you.
Absolutely, because it's more just about building a relationship. It's not just a transaction.
Yeah, I'm relational, not transactional, and that's something I've learned from people like Jonathan Dawson, who is a major positive influence in my life. And that's one thing that I've gotten from Jonathan is to become a relational salesperson, not transactional.
100%. That's like gold. I love that.
Yeah. Raving fans. I want to build friends to the point where like I go into Kroger's and I'll hear there's the honest car guy. Right. And that is because I've become a relational person. These people that they follow me on Facebook, but they feel like we're friends, which we are. I mean, that's the way I look at it. But yeah, it's about being real. And that's what I used to tell my salespeople, going back to what I said about, fake it till you make it. That never happens. You never will make it. Like there's not success at the end of that rope. It's about being real. It's about being who you really are. And then people will start to they'll start to root you on. And that's the thing, is when I was not the greatest salesperson, which I'm not even close to being there yet, I would let people know of my victories, but I would let them know my failures. And then it was amazing how many people in my community would come behind me and support me, or message me and say, hey, I know you were having a bad week last week. Are you doing better? I might have a friend that's wanting to buy a car. And I'm going, what is happening?
Dude, that's solid. Okay, time out. Okay,
yeah.
Okay, so I got to hit on 2 more points, but man, you just crushed it, because the second one to handle before I go to the one that you just said was just about the posting real fast. When it's like, cars. So, if you're thinking like, why would you not publish a bunch of cars if you're selling cars? Well, the reality is because then it just becomes spam, and people like don't see you. You said
they're going to snooze you.
Even if I take a photo of a car, I'm in the car. So
the
more people that see your face, the more they know, like, and trust you, and the more you're building that top of mind awareness. So the fact that, Clinton's taking a photo of himself, and yes, it does have a car behind him, but they're seeing him, and they're more interested in him than possibly the car at the moment. And then he even said he had a video leading up to it. So he's talking about the car or whatever, maybe updating what's going on in the community, which is super awesome. But now let's go to what you just said, which I just went blank. Gosh, you just said
people messaging me.
No, before that. Oh man, you just said something great. Oh gosh, man, good thing we recorded it, right? I can't go back now.
So was it talking about how people will message asking how I'm doing, and that they might have a friend looking to buy a car?
Okay, no, it's like right before that, but okay, the fact that you're just completely open. Here it is. Found it. Boom. It's in the head. You say you post your good stuff and you post your bad stuff, right? So everything on social media, a lot of people flaunt, right? And they're trying to,
it's all positive, man. It's
super positive. And that's one thing I can definitely say,
I have no negative in my life.
That I see you do. Like, it's not something that you're just saying you do. Like, I see you do this. And coming from someone like, man, this past year, I've lost 3 people. I lost my grandpa, my grandma, my dad. And so being sad and like depressed, like that's part of my, like, this life right now that I'm living. But you put that, like, you were depressed the other day, maybe it was 3 weeks ago, and you shared that online. And like, people were like, why would you share that? It's because he's real. And he's just saying, hey, like, just so you guys know, this is where I'm at. Maybe mentally or emotionally. And so when people do reach out and try to engage with you, it's not just about that car. It's actually about building that relationship back and forth. And you're not doing it to say, I want attention. That's just who you are. You're being upfront and honest and blunt. And so that's something that I definitely encourage you guys to do. Not post, stuff that's made up. Like, that's don't ever think anything I say is like, oh, you got to make something up. No, because Clinton's being real. Like, so be real with what you post, and it's okay to post something that's bad. Now, I'm not telling you to post anything that's super negative. And one thing I've always learned just from my dad is stay away from money, politics, and religion. And I'm not saying freedom of speech, you can say what you want. But sometimes it's just better not to say something, and no one has to know your opinion on some things.
Yeah, it's like, politics, you're never going to see me post on it. Now, I have memories that do pop up from 4 years ago. 4 years ago, I was not at the stage I'm at. But politics, you'll never see me post anything, which is tough. I mean, we live in a day and age where we all have opinions, and Facebook, it's so easy to get on there and just start. But that's one thing that I found. And here's the thing, man, when I was a salesperson, and this might be good information. When I was a manager, I had a salesperson who would do that. And I told him, I said, look, and I told him, I said, I don't want to contradict myself, because when it comes to my faith, I'm going to post that. And that's me, right? Because of where I was and where I knew God brought me. But politics is one of those things where I told him, I said, listen, here's the reality. I've sold cars to people that have told me they were atheists and we're friends, right? Because I don't cram my religion down their throat.
Right.
Politics is one of those things where, man, it becomes crazy. And I had a sales guy who would do that. He would post stuff. And I told him, I said, listen, at the end of the day, you've either got a customer that feels the same way you do about politics, or you've got a customer that does not. I said, and you will burn that bridge quickly. And attached to that bridge is a lot of other people that probably were going to buy cars from you because of referrals. And you may lose that forever.
Right. And you can approach it in a certain way where it's not so, like you said, pushing it down someone's throat. Like, I have a lot of friends, that are atheists, and it doesn't bother me, because the reality is, like, I still appreciate them, love them as a human, and vice versa. They feel the same way. It's just, we just have a different opinion. That's it. And
Yeah.
When you can walk away from a confrontation with a different opinion, and still be okay with it, I think you're good. And you can approach that, like you said, it's spiritual stuff. When you do post something that may be about God or maybe about a verse, it's not like, if you don't believe in this, you know.
It's really what it's about my life, right? What am I thankful for? But yeah, politics, man, any salespeople, especially new ones, stay away from it. Like politics, don't be
100%.
posting politics. There's a lot of things when you're branding yourself, you know. I mean, as a salesperson, especially in this day and age, 2020, you want to be the higher authority. You want to be the professional person, right? Like when I deal with a client, and I'm blessed to be able to do pretty much the entire process, I want them to know that I'm the higher authority. I am a professional in my area. And that's one thing, you know, you're never going to see me, which I don't drink or anything like that. But even if I did, I can promise you, you wouldn't see me posting crazy pictures out getting wasted, because at the end of the day, what is your brand, right? And those are things that I you know, and I see some salespeople do it, and it is what it is. But again, you have to look at, if you are the professional in your field, Facebook is literally everything, right? And it takes one post, it takes one stupid little thing to put on there to just burn a lot of what you've built. And a lot of times it's not worth it. You know, that's where, if you go to my Facebook, it's simple. I love selling cars. I love doing stuff in the community.
I love cooking.
I love cooking food.
Yeah,
I love cooking, man. And I do that stuff. And listen, people are like, how do you sell so many cars off Facebook? You barely post about cars. Because it's top of mind awareness. It's engagement. It's relational. And I want it, when somebody thinks about a car, I want them to think Clinton Becker. I want them to think the honest car guy. That's it. Nothing else. And that's one thing that changed when I was a salesperson before, you know, prior to 2017, 2016, you know, I maybe sold 16 to 18 cars a month, and I thought I was a rock star, but nobody knew me. I didn't get referrals. You know, now it's, again, how to create top of mind awareness. And that's where a lot of things like Facebook, and even build a brand, obviously, creates that top of mind awareness. And that is the thing, is if somebody says, I'm looking for a car, man, I want my people, my raving fans, to immediately say, you got to go to Clinton Becker. You have no other option.
So you've been on, you're in management position. I remember that day you're like, hey, I'm going back to sales. And I was like, whoa, what? And, you know, currently on your website, you have about 600 reviews. How long have you been back in sales? About 2 years, a year and a half?
No, February 2019. So what is that?
Okay.
That's that's not 2 years. Yeah.
So
February 2. Literally, it was February 23rd. It was like February 22nd. I talked to the GM and I was like, well, I'll wait till you replace me. He goes, no, I'll fill in your spot. You're going back to sales tomorrow. And I was like, oh, cool. Man, so February 23rd, 2019.
600 and something reviews. Okay. And that right there is critical, because that's social proof. And a lot of people think, well, I don't need reviews. Okay. You're missing out on a lot of money. And you know what I love, Clinton, is you're so consistent, right? With publishing reviews and you're sharing the customer experience. And what I like, and a lot of salespeople do this, but there's a lot that don't. So if you're one of these people, don't think like you're wrong. Here's just a better way to do it. When you publish something about your customer purchasing a car, he makes it all about his customer. It's all about their experience. And it's never like one of those things like, I've sold another, like check mark.
I've seen those.
Yeah, I know. And it's more just like, hey guys, help me congratulate my new client. I mean, like that right there is powerful, because people will then see it's more about the customer. It's not about Clinton. You know, like I said earlier, if you sell one, great. If not, hey, at least you're building relationships. In the end, that's what really matters, because, you know, you always hear your network is your net worth. And then the people that you know, are obviously going to give you more exposure to more high valued customers. So, man, that is awesome. Now, let's give me 2 things that you do, at least getting out and prospecting the community, that really are great ideas for most people to do. And maybe they haven't thought about it. So 2 things that you do that really help you increase your business in getting involved in the community.
So local partnerships, one of the biggest things I did. And again, this was a combination of a lot of people, but I really learned how to do it from Jonathan. Partnering, I've got probably maybe almost a dozen local businesses that I've partnered with. Now I'm in a smaller community, 12,000 people, right? Other people listening, you may be in a big town, right? You can still do this. I've partnered with, one of the main things, you know, I had a blueprint when I went back to sales. and this is the same for somebody right now that's listening. You don't have to be going from management to sales. You just say, hey, right now I'm going to create this blueprint. And one of the things was, again, I said, I want to be the best car salesman in my area. I want to dominate my network. And part of that was I want to partner with local businesses. And the reality is it's very easy. I've got, like I said, almost a dozen businesses, from a local coffee shop, a local Mexican restaurant, a couple pizza places.
You have a pizza
hair salon
that was made for you, right?
What is it?
You posted something about a pizza that like named.
Oh yeah. Yeah. One of the pizza, like Roscoe's Pizza. You ever come to Ohio guys, go to Waynesville, get Roscoe's Pizza. Best pizza ever. Like legitimately. He made the Clinton burger. I mean, it's a 4-pound patty.
Okay. So it's a burger, not a pizza. I'm sorry.
Well, it's a pizza. Oh no, it's a 12-inch deep dish is the bottom bun with a 4-pound patty, this special sauce. He made tons of pickles and another deep dish pizza on top. So it is legitimately like a giant burger pizza. It's
That's
crazy.
Awesome.
Yeah. And you know, he made that. Again, I don't pay for these relationships. I utilize Facebook to promote these businesses, and these businesses in turn give my clients free stuff or discounts. So when someone buys a car from me, they get literally free food from probably 3 restaurants, discounts at another restaurant, free haircuts, free coffee, discounts for Scentsy, which everybody knows the Scentsy warmers and stuff.
My wife orders them. I know.
You see, I love them. But now you buy a car from me, you get a discount. And I created these partnerships because I knew that's how I can get out into my network. You know, by doing this, the other thing I do in my community is I'm a big, I believe in trying to give back, right? I believe that as people, if we can give of our time and our money, we can make a difference in the world, because those are the 2 things we're the most selfish with. And by having these partnerships, I've been able to help raise money for people that have had tragedies in their life. Most recently, a crazy driver crashed into our CVS, like straight up went through the door of a CVS in our community.
Was anyone hurt? Or
Yeah. There was a girl and her son and fiance that were walking in. She got hurt pretty bad, has had multiple surgeries. I didn't know them. I didn't know who they were. Somebody shared a GoFundMe. I immediately shared it and said, hey, we should do something for these people. And so people started messaging me because, again, they immediately associate giving with me because of what I've done. And they messaged me and said, what do you have in mind? And I'm like,
yeah, I can tell you guys right now. And I've donated because of you, Clinton, and strictly because of you, right? And I was like, well, if Clinton believes in whatever this is, yeah, I do. And honestly, I'll be honest, I don't know what it was for. It was because
it speaks tons about your character, and that's one reason I appreciate you so much.
All right, Clinton, it's not about me, it's about you, seriously. But no, but what I was trying to get to everyone is like, it's literally you. Like, that's why I did it, is because you're like, hey guys, I need help for this. And what's $20-$40? Like, you know, I'll spend that on like a pack of Red Bulls.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. And so within a week, I raised over probably $6,000 for this young girl that was hurt. And again, it's to me, it goes back to the main things I do. Those local community partnerships have sold me a ton of cars. I mean, the owner of the coffee shop, she's my client. The owner of the salon, she's my client. Her son is my client. The lady that does massages at the hair salon is now my client. They've referred multiple people with me. I mean, I've partnered with Subway. Dude, you buy a car, you get a free 6-inch sub.
Seriously? Are you going to be like that one guy where he's like, what was his name? Jared?
No, they told me when we did a Facebook Live at Subway, the lady told me the one thing that I am not allowed. She said, please do not mention Jared, because we're not allowed to in Subway stuff ever. I was like, okay, cool. So yeah, but it's creating those partnerships, and you don't have to go out and try and partner with 12 people, but imagine if you were to partner with one business and say, hey, whenever you buy a car from me, you get a free coffee from XYZ. And then you promote that local business on your Facebook. And these are businesses, keep in mind, that I frequent, that I go to. Don't just go to some random pizza place that you've never ate at and go, hey, I want to partner with you. And they're going to say, oh, you like our pizzas? Well, I've never had it, right? It's got to be
build the relationship.
Yeah, it's got to be real. And these are places that I frequent. And I said, hey, I love your product, and I would love to get all of my people on board. I'm a local salesman. I sell 40 to 50 cars a month. And is there a way that maybe my clients can get some sort of discounted or free item when they buy a car from me? And my hope is that will drive more traffic to you. I'm going to tell you right now, they will not tell you no.
Right, I have businesses 40 to 50. They give away an appetizer, maybe a free dinner.
Oh, yeah. They
Well,
don't
they still have
cost
to
them
buy
nothing.
another dinner.
Papa John's gives them a free large any topping pizza. Like,
Man.
and again, that helps differentiate me. And that's the goal. How are you going to become different? Because at the end of the day, we know car salesmen have a stereotype. How can you become different? And I can tell you this. I haven't had one customer tell me, oh, well, you know, this guy over here, he did the same thing. No, they're like, when I start telling them about free stuff, they're like, what the heck are you talking about? Like, dude, I'm going to give you free meals for like a week, right? Like, easy. And then doing the different stuff in my community. Now, that may not be your thing, but that's the other thing that's helped me get so much exposure. But again, I do it from a place of genuine, right? Being genuine. And that's where I always tell people, don't go do it just because you want to get some sales, because I promise you, it'll blow up in your face. You got to find what is your thing, right? And then it will take off. But it takes the most important thing, man. It takes time, right? It's about consistency, and that was my biggest thing as a manager. I would try and set the stage for these guys.
You really did, guys, because like Clinton, I hate to cut you off, but I want to really hit on that, because Clinton as a manager, right? And Clinton, I think we spoke for like 6 months before he ever jumped on to build a brand.
Yeah.
And he did his research, right? And so then he gets his team on it. And as a manager, Clinton was using it more than the salespeople, and he was showing them what to do, right? And he was publishing online and being consistent, and maybe 2 to 3 times a day publishing online. And so as a manager, I mean, you were crushing, but go on, carry on. I just want to really hit that, because most people probably think, oh, it's easy because you're a manager. You probably don't have much to do.
Oh my
you're
God.
Publishing more than your salespeople when you have more to do.
Yeah, and I'm gonna piggyback off that, because one of the biggest things is obviously to paint the picture of what's allowed me to get to where I'm at. You know, go from probably averaging 16 cars a month to averaging 38.
Your first month back to sales, how many did you sell?
29.
And your second month?
I don't remember, but I know it was over
35.
35. Thank you. Yeah. See,
I know.
You know, and here's the thing is, there's a lot of factors that have played a part in that. And, you know, when you talk about publishing, you know, there's a lot of tools within Build a Brand, just, you know, that has helped me. And there's a lot of key things that have helped me. And it's truly a tool that has, because there's so much to it. And I had a salesman from Indiana call me 2 days ago and literally asked me about it. And I told him, I said, dude, it's all about if you use it, right? There are tons of tools in this industry that dealerships pay for, and salespeople never use them. If you use it, I promise you, it will increase your sales. It will increase your top of mind awareness. I love going in the stats and looking at how many people go to my website. And I'm like, holy crap.
Do you know how many people go in there and they'll go on Buy National and be like, how do I beat Clinton? I'm like,
nah, I go to it all the time, and I love to see that I'm at the top. I love it, because
that's one thing I just want to express. If you're listening, this is your first time, you're like, oh, he's trying to plug a product. And I say it all the time. This is not, that was very generous of Clinton. Of course, it's our YouTube channel. We talk about what we want. It's our Amazon channel. But that was, Clinton just sharing what he uses, but he also does utilize other training with like Frank Cranitti, Jonathan Dawson, that he implements in utilizing the tools we have. So they're training implemented with our tools, and then actually utilizing social media to do that. Yeah. So again, like Clinton said, it's a great tool if you use it, just like training is a great tool. Like how many stores, you think about this, and I've seen it. Jonathan Dawson gets paid by the store to give him this training, and then all these people don't use it. Like, I literally tell a story. Like when I first met Jonathan Dawson, it was free videos on YouTube. Saved up. It cost me $1,200, flight, food, and everything for me to go from Texas to Atlanta for one day. Okay. And go to the 6-figure sales conference, which changed my life. And it's how can you not, it doesn't have to be Jonathan Dawson, it can be anyone. How could you not see the value in training to want to be better? And so, with that, utilize the tools that you have, utilize the training that you have. And everyone's like, oh, I read 30 books. Great. Did you implement
what you do what you read?
That's great. That's awesome. But did you actually implement and practice what those books taught? And it's the same thing with training and tools. So I think it's very good that you do that, because that's something that most people don't.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate thing with sales is it's in it, and I've fallen in this trap of, oh wow, that's a really awesome thing, or that's an awesome word tracker, that's an awesome thing, and then you do it, and after a week you don't continue, and that's the thing is it's the consistency of using a tool like Build a Brand. I literally used it consistently for that first year as I was building my brand. I mean, come on, like
it's almost in the title.
it helps me build my brand. I mean, come on, man. I got a digital business card. I had my own free app. It did the work for me. And then the consistency of utilizing Facebook and doing Facebook Lives. And Facebook Lives may not be your thing. For me, I'm good at it, I guess, right? It's something that the first time I was scared to death. I'm like, what the heck? I don't know anything about it. Now I love it. And it gets to the point where if I don't do a live, I'll literally have people message me, clients message me. Hey, you didn't do your live like you normally do.
Hey,
right?
man, it's like our favorite TV show. Clint, where are you, bro?
That's right. And that's when you know you're getting traction. And that's when I saw a shift about 8 months in, is when I did a Tuesday tip. And I don't do it anymore because things evolve and change and when you get busier. But I used to do every Tuesday, I would do a Tuesday tip. And it would either be live or preloaded. And I skipped it for like 2 weeks. And that was the first time that I knew some traction was happening. When somebody messaged me and said, oh, I missed your Tuesday tip. What happened? Are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I just got busy and didn't, I haven't done it for a couple of weeks.
It was crazy. Like when people think about this, they're like, oh, well, how many people? It doesn't matter. It's one person. All you need to do. Yeah, that's it. All you need is just the audience of one person.
When I first started doing Facebook Live, I had like maybe five people. And I was all like, I get off the Facebook Live all jacked up going, 5 people watched. And then I finally realized it's not about the numbers. Another salesman that I'm close with out of state, we talk often. I told him, I said,
mention
stop look. What is it? Yeah, Blake Johnson. Blake Johnson is a rock star.
Piece of cake with Blake.
Yeah, that's right. And Blake, if you watch this, you are a rock star. Blake has done, in the last couple weeks, man, or last month, he has blown up his referral business. And that's because he's just grabbed the bull by the horns. And, Blake was one of those, I told him, I said, when you stop looking at the comments and the likes, then you'll start to have success.
Man, oh my gosh.
I fell in that trap. I focused. I was like, oh man, nobody liked the post. It must not be doing good. Listen, a week later, that post would blow up. And that's all that matters. Put the content out there, be consistent, and it will slowly build up and you'll get the results you want.
I feel like I'm in church. I'm like, preach.
That's right. Stop. And people do that. They'll go Facebook Live and they'll be like, well, I only had 3 people watching. I'm not going to do that again.
So a lot of people, like you said, they predicate their whole success based off of a like or a view, right? And here's the thing that most people don't think of. Most people really don't think of this, that a view on Facebook and Instagram is 3 seconds.
Yeah.
That means I scrolled. My son just broke something. I'm looking. I accidentally clicked or something. You just got a view. Doesn't mean anything, right? So some people are like, oh, I got 1,000 views. You got no comments. You got like you really have no engagement. Engagement is they're looking for a dialogue. They want to see comments, and then when people comment, you need to comment back and ask another question. Joe,
that's it. Thanks. That's the key right there.
Thanks, appreciate it. No, I don't know how many people. What'd you like so much about this?
People will get like isn't that called organic? Right, when you don't pay for it, they'll get organic connections and waste it. I've talked to salespeople, reviews, like you said, with Build a Brand. I love the review tool. If somebody was to not right now, but after you listen to this, go to Google and type in Wilmington Auto Center and go to our dealership's Google page. I'm still blown away at how much my name shows up. And honestly, not a plug, I'm not paid, blah, blah, blah. Literally, because Build a Brand's tool is so sweet that at the end of the review that I make the customer do with me before they leave, right? They do it before they ever go to finance so that I can control that. They literally get a box that pops up and says, share to Google. And it goes right to the dealership's Google page. Yep. So I had a guy come in and literally said he wanted to work with me because my name was all over Google. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. He goes, yeah. I mean, it's like your name nonstop. And again, that review process is like massive. And that allows me to get more traction, more exposure. And it's huge. But I was telling, I just lost my train of thought. Look at us, man.
No worries. So what we were talking about was pretty much just you being awesome. No, just kidding. But just,
I try.
Just the whole likes and comments and it's like when people see that it's crazy. When you look engagement,
that's what I was going for.
You look at Facebook, they basically created a $1 trillion business on creating dopamine on a smiley face and a thumbs up.
Oh my gosh.
Dopamine that's being produced to make you excited and happy. And what you said earlier, when you stop paying attention to the likes and comments and really make it about your content being valuable to your customer, and even if it's just one person, well, speak to that one person, because eventually it'll be 10 people and then it'll be 100. But if you speak, it's a little bit to the one person, you're like, well, where are the rest? You're losing.
They're coming. They'll come eventually. That post ain't going to, it's there forever. It'll just randomly pop up in somebody's thread. that's what I was going with the reviews is how many people waste their Facebook, the effort they put in to make a post, and they don't engage. Like you said, it's, if I post, every customer does a review, I share it on Facebook, and listen, whoever's listening, please understand, this is so important. Become friends with your customers on Facebook. Every time, 99.7% of my reviews have the customer tag and anybody else that's with them. I don't care if it's Sally, the best friend that just came along. I'm friends with Sally now because I want to infiltrate her network. And it's this simple. Hey, do you have Facebook? Yes. Pull your phone out real quick. Send me a friend's request. I make them send me the friend's request so that they can't ignore mine. And then I tag them. Now, I post a review, and Sally, I tag Sally and all her friends and all her girlfriends, and they're all freaking out going, oh my gosh, your new Wrangler's beautiful. And they're commenting, you deserve this. I'll reply back, yeah, she does deserve it. And then I send them a friend's request because I want to become friends with everybody in my network. And I've had people say, wait a couple days to send them a friend's request. I don't do that because frankly, I'm probably going to forget to go back, or I'm going to get busy. And you'll probably be blown away at how many people will just hit accept and not even take time to check and see if
so a recap of what Clinton just said,
Yeah.
if you're watching this or listening, Clinton basically said, and I know you're gonna be like, duh, Cameron, all right, that's fine. I'm going to say it because I have to say it, is when you are adding your customers on to social media, that gives you the opportunity to reach their circle of influence, right? So every single individual person is an influencer among their circle of influence. So now you add your customer to Facebook and you're publishing something. Now your content is being seen by their family members and the friends. And the fact that your customer actually shared it on their timeline or allowed you to tag them in it, that is saying, I trust this person. I'm going to extend this trust to you. And now you just created high valued customers, which are the people that know, like, and trust you. I mean,
and they're going to come back to you.
Yeah, you're probably like, duh, Cameron. I know, but hey, I had to say it because someone's like, what did Clinton just say? Thanks, Cameron, for giving me that recap.
That's right. And that's one of the biggest things I think that people struggle with is they're intimidated. And again, this is something I've learned from psychology, not a plug, but just,
I plug Jonathan all the time.
Is the give-get, right? I mean, here's the reality. I've had salespeople go, well, I mean, I just asked them to be friends with them on Facebook. I mean, that's where people put their kids and stuff. And I feel like I'm overstepping. Overstepping what? You just invested your time in giving them such an exceptional deal. And at the end of the day, if you've really worked your butt off, if you've really created a lasting relationship, becoming friends on Facebook ain't no big deal. And it will build your business.
Yes, it will. Oh, I'm sorry. I feel like we get the good feedback. Like we're just going off each other. So I'm sorry to interrupt. But one thing that Clinton said earlier, and it just hit me now you said that, was basically, when people are like, oh, well, that's where they add their family and friends, and I like to keep my work life separate from my home life. Here's the thing, guys. Listen closely. Your brand and your business should be, you should be living it while you're working off the clock. Like when you walk around, like, and I tell people all the time when, they're wearing the dealership shirt and they go out do something crazy, you realize you're representing your company, and you should be representing your brand, your business at all times. Everything you do is being watched. And if you don't think that it's being watched or listened to, you're completely wrong. Like literally, I have so many smart devices around my house. It's listening to me at all times, but guess what? It makes my shopping easier because I just thank you, Alexa, for allowing me to know that I want to buy that.
That's right.
But you should constantly think about that and know that you are your brand and your business at all times. Now you are the physical product. You are the person. So you don't want to separate those. And if you are going to separate them, why are you even working where you're working?
Yeah, you shouldn't. And that's the thing. The people that ask me, and listen, this isn't for anybody that is more successful than me. If you do this, that's awesome. If you've been taught this by somebody that's more successful than me, then keep doing whatever you think is working. First, like business pages. I'm not a business page guy, right? Facebook offers business pages or your personal page. As a manager, I had my guys get business pages. Eric Woodell, he's a finance manager now. When I was a salesman, when I was a manager, I promoted him into finance. But when he was a salesman, he came up with his whole brand. And I said, oh yeah, get a business page and and get all your friends to like it. And then I'm pretty sure, I think it was Sean Hayes. I think it was Sean who I think it was Sean, opened up my eyes to realize, okay, so your business page is pay to play. I've got to boost. I've got to spend money. I've got to go click a million times, invite people on my friends list that I'm already friends with, right? These people already see me, but now I got to invite them to go to a page I created. And then I got to hope that Facebook is going to keep putting the post from that page in front of them while I'm still doing my personal Facebook page. What I came to realize is Facebook wasn't showing my business page to barely anybody. I'd have to pay to boost posts just like a business does. And it's like, okay, so I have a personal page, which is where all my people are, right?
Which is like 4,000 friends.
Yeah, now it's, you know.
And then you have a business page with 30 friends.
30 likes or something. And it's like, and I was getting no engagement from it. And I'm going, well, yeah, Facebook's pay to play. So if I don't boost or pay to make that business page take off, then it's going to do nothing. And then, okay, cool. Let's say that it starts to get some traction. Well, why do I want to do double the work? Why do I want to manage a Facebook page and have my personal page where I can make my personal page everything? Everything's on there is public. I don't have anything blocked. It's all public, and it's me. And people engage with it like crazy. And that's one thing, man, that if you've got a business page, I'd recommend getting rid of it. And going back to what Cam said, if it's because you want your personal life and your business life to be separate, you're going to have trouble becoming the top of the top, because the reality is your brand is you. Look at Frank Cornetti. Frank's helped me a lot. His brand is him, right? And, I don't know. He might have a business page, but that's not where people really are focusing.
Right. And there's pros to it, right? So like I'm a believer in the business page, right?
Yeah.
And I think for particular reasons because of the Facebook pixels and the fact that just like when you go through Amazon, you start shopping, all of a sudden you're on Facebook, you see ads. Right?
I got you.
That's the only reason like I believe in it, because the pixeling. And now again, I see your point of view. It's just like, why double the work? It makes no sense. I could just live it here. And I can say that I did that, right? But I did pay to play. Because I wanted the opportunity to have a pixel. So there's pros,
and that's a pro.
Yeah, that's a pro
for
and
sure.
Now, honestly, do I like going in there and like mess with it? No, like I haven't messed with my business page, Cameron Moore Consulting, in forever. People still go there and like it. I have no clue why. I never post anything on there.
That's awesome. But it shows that it still gets put out there.
Yeah, for sure. And I literally never touch it. But man, so this has been awesome because we've literally actually covered a lot of what we're going to talk about today with the prospecting, getting referrals, and, following up with your customers, which I know, you follow up with video, and it's, something that you do. And it's kind of like
powerful,
what you explained, following up with them on Facebook, just reaching out to them. Well, man, this is actually a really fun. I know your time is very valuable, and we could talk for days, honestly. And so I guess as we close this out, I want you to imagine someone's right in front of you right now, and and if you're on the other side of this, you're listening. I want you to imagine Clinton's talking to you, right? And I was gonna say a pep rally. I was a cheerleader, so I was a pep rally, right? So just like a motivational, like something you could say to them to get them first off to quit thinking so negative, but then also take that next step, whatever it may be. It may be videos, it may be getting reviews, it may be just going out and publishing something on Facebook for the first time, right? So what would you tell that person if they're in front of you? And so if you are listening to this on Amazon, Alexa, again, thank you so much for watching this. I want you to look into Clinton's eyes.
That's
now.
right. Look.
Yeah. So what would you tell them?
Yeah, my biggest thing would be just do it. Stop making excuses and stop worrying about whether you fail, and just do it. The one thing that I learned is I'm going to fail forward. I have failed a ton in the last year and a half, and I've been down in the last year and a half, but I've learned from it, and I've grown, and I've become better, all because I just did it. I was honestly scared to death at one point going from management to sales, because as a manager, as long as everybody around you is selling, you're still making money. Right. I went, okay, so I'm really going to make the choice to go back. Just do it. If it's video, just do it. I promise you, you will close more sales by using video. You will build stronger relationships. Just do it. Quit convincing yourself it's not a good idea. Try it and then learn from it. And you'll have results. You'll have success. And don't let other people affect you. I know there are a lot of people in this industry that may say, look at that guy out there doing Facebook Lives or taking selfies. Look at that guy taking a selfie in front of that car, giving a thumbs up. Who cares? You're building your business. Just do it. When I first started, I know there were people that were like, oh my gosh, look at him taking, there's a tire discounters next to us, and they're always staring at me when I'm out there making goofy pictures, taking selfies of myself. Well, guess what? I'm going to do it anyways, because I'm going to try it. I'm going to see if it works, and I'm going to build my business. So just don't talk yourself out of it, and don't allow other people to talk yourself out of it. Try it, find what works for you, and then and give it everything you have. Anything's possible if you truly believe it is. And that's something that I've told myself. I'm going to sell 100 plus cars a month out of this little store in a town of 12,000. And frankly, I've already hit 51 cars was my best month at a store that barely carries 200 units, right? Like, we barely have 200 units on the ground, and I've already hit 51. And that's because I made the decision that I could do it, and I wasn't going to let anybody convince me otherwise. Thank you to like Ollie and Frank for embedding that in my brain, that anything's possible. So yeah, just do it. Quit telling yourself it's not possible, because it is. You just gotta give it everything you got, man.
So you just heard it from Clinton Becker, the honest car guy, basically telling you to just do it. And it's funny, as you're saying that, when you're saying people looking at you like you're crazy, I want to share an embarrassing story. Just 2 seconds. I was trying to think about how to share the new BMW feature of the gesture control from the BMW 7 Series. And this is what I was selling. And I was like, man, what could I do? Well, that's when the new season of The Walking Dead came out. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got a stupid idea, but I'm going to try it. Like, what happens?
Yeah.
So I'm in the middle of the lot, down the BMW side, running, acting like zombies are chasing me, having and like, oh gosh, crazy, right? And people are looking at me like I'm so crazy.
Because it's just you running.
Yes. And so here's the thing. So I make the video, and I get footage of zombies chasing, and it's like me running, like, I have zombie noises in the background, and I did all my own editing. Like, I didn't pay anyone. So then it gets to the part where it's just like, in the event of a zombie apocalypse was my title. And so it's like the zombies are chasing me, and then it goes straight to me sitting in the BMW 7 Series. And I was like, in the event of a zombie apocalypse, the new gesture control allows you to see a 360 view around your vehicle. Makes no sense.
Dude, that's amazing though. Like, but that's the thing that people don't realize. I know we're wrapping up, but that's the creativity. That's what people, they don't want the normal stuff. Like I do, for those of you that follow me, I do these stupid hot challenges. I eat hot food.
Oh my gosh, I feel so bad.
I hate hot food, right?
Like, I want to cry with you.
People love it. Like, I'll eat these stupid hot foods on Facebook, have 100 plus people watching me live. Do something, like that running. That's hilarious. And honestly, that would have been the funniest thing to see.
I actually, the video's still on my YouTube channel. No lie.
Okay, I need to go find it. To find it. But that's the thing right there. That's a prime example. Who cares about anybody else and what they think? And at the end of the day, I want to go home and know that I did not do myself or my family a disservice, because those little things can become huge in your business and will ultimately lead to more sales. They'll lead to more income, which is the whole reason you're at work, right? Like, that's it. That's why you're there. So Be creative. Be like Cam, man. Go running down the car lot like a maniac and create something beautiful.
Hey guys, man, this has been a fun time. I hope I can do another one pretty soon. But guys, I just want to thank you guys for listening on Amazon Alexa. And if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much. If this is your first time watching, watch it full through. We appreciate it. Go ahead and hit that like, subscribe down below. But Clinton, thank you so much for allowing us to do this interview. We've been trying for months. We finally got it to go. So again, we'll catch you guys next time.
But I can, yes I can. New requests are coming in to be my friend. Friend. Build a brand.